I've got some Silver Surfer, Captain America, relatively recent Stan Lee, and a modern key. All that and more as I finish showing you the books I got at a sidewalk sale for 25 cents a piece. Check it out. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and this is Northgarden Comics. Today I've got a comic book adventure for you, and that's where I show you the good books that I find for great prices at different shows, sales, and conventions. If you like this kind of content, please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and as you watch, if you see something that you like, give it a thumbs up, or leave me a comment down below. Okay, the books I've got for you today are the tail end of I think 5 videos that it's taken me to show you all of these books. These are books that I picked up at a sidewalk sale, or actually 2 sidewalk sales that a local shop here in the Twin Cities held. They did 2 Saturdays in a row, back issue, basically a liquidation sale, and they were selling all these back issues for 25 cents a piece. And so in total, I came home with something like 150 books. Now, don't worry, I'm not showing you 150 books today. If you'd like to see some of the other things that I picked up at these sales, there are links to those other videos down below in the description of this video, so you can go check those out later. But today, we're going to kind of round out those sales with the final stack of books that I want to share with you. I've got some things here that help me fill in some runs. I got a few oddball things, because you always, not always, but a lot of times you come across things you weren't looking for, but didn't know you wanted until you saw it. And then there is one cool modern key that I found. I've never seen this book in the wild before, either for cheap or for market price. I'll give you a little bit of a clue. I've had copies of this or reprints of this first appearance in the form of free comic book day issues, but now I actually have the first print, actual first appearance of this character. So that's something to look forward to. I will save that till the end. Until then, though, let's take a look at the rest of these books. All right, first up, I've got Silver Surfer, a handful of books that I found from Silver Surfer. This is volume 3. This is the volume that introduced me to this character and where I fell in love with the character of Silver Surfer. And, you know, Ron Lim is a name. He did the cover here, and that is the name that I most closely associate with this run and that style of art for the Silver Surfer. This is a volume that gave us, you know, the resurrection of Thanos, the return of Drax the Destroyer, the introduction of the Infinity Gauntlet, you know, names and characters that we are familiar with through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but were, you know, played a large part in this volume. This volume ran for, I think, 146 issues. I don't have them all. I collected this early on when I was like high school, college years. And at some point in the last 4 or 5 years, I decided to go ahead and fill out the rest of the run. So I've been working on that ever since. But I do try to hold out and pick them up, A, in good condition, and B, inexpensively. And I would say that for a volume like this for Silver Surfer, if you're looking to collect it, hold out for those better condition copies, because they are out there. There's plenty of cheap copies you can find that are beat up and the pages aren't in great shape and the whites are faded on the front, but be patient. That's one of the keys in really getting the books that you want for the price that you want, is waiting to find that in the right condition. And these can be found, and this is evidence of it because, again, 25 cents a piece. So I picked up today number 76, and this is about where I needed to continue in the run. I have the first 75 issues and a few random issues after that, but I'm really trying to work my way sequentially. 77. And I love the colors on a lot of these covers, especially just even in this run that I picked up here today. What is that, number 79? And then it jumps to number 83. And here's 86, a little bit of a border kind of cover there with Thor on the cover. And then we jump again to number 91. And like I said, I've got a few of the random issues after this as well, but trying to sequentially work my way through and put that whole run together as inexpensively as possible. Next up here, just one issue from a run. It's the last issue that I needed to complete this run. This is written by Jonathan Hickman. This is Secret Warriors. And the reason I've been trying to get this one is I know Jonathan Hickman is divisive, right? There's going to be people who really like them and people who really don't. I really like his style, and I liked him on Secret Wars in 2015, and then after that learned more about him in terms of his run on Fantastic Four and Avengers, New Avengers that led up to Secret War, and then he wrote the Secret Warriors as well. And so I've been trying to put together all of the Hickman writings, and I've read everything else that he wrote leading up to Secret Wars except for this volume here. But number 27 was the last issue that I needed, and it's a 28-issue run, and then I think, you know, an annual. But now I have the whole thing. I can read the whole run, and I was able to pick up all of these for like 50 cents or $1 at most a piece. The next two books are an example of one of those kind of random finds that you weren't looking for, but once you saw them, you wanted them, or at least in this case, I did. This is Image Comics, Stan Lee, and Yoshiki's Blood Red Dragon. I had not ever heard of this before seeing it, but I saw Stan Lee's name on it, and he's done some things post-Marvel. This is from around 2010, 2011 kind of time frame, but they had number 2, and I thought the art looked kind of cool. So between his name being associated with it and the art, I figure, what the heck, for $1/4 a piece, I'll pick them up and check them out. Numbers 2 and 3, I think it only ran for like, there might only be like 3 or not many more than that issues in this little story. So if I ever see number 1, I'll grab that. Next one here, this is a volume I'm not collecting, but I've said this numerous times, I'm a sucker for a number 1, and I like the Fantastic Four. So they had the Ultimate Fantastic Four number 1. I think there's some, keys in this volume that are later. Maybe it's in the kind of the low 20s as far as issue numbers. These don't carry any kind of value, but again, I like the Fantastic Four, and I've been getting into some of the Ultimate Comics volumes like the X-Men. I've read some of the Ultimates, so I figured why not get that since it was there. And they had number 2, so what the heck, 25 cents a piece, early issues in the run, give them a go. Here's an issue that's a minor key, Astonishing X-Men number 51. This is the first same-sex marriage in Marvel Comics, at least. This is Northstar and Kyle, I'm going to butcher his last name, I think it's like Ginadu, something like that. I think maybe it's French. But this is back again in the Astonishing X-Men run. And I have Joss Whedon's era of Astonishing X-Men, which was like the first 24 issues or so. But so this is just kind of a standalone. I grabbed it because it's kind of that minor key and somewhat significant in Marvel Comics. And these two, actually I pulled this out so I could show you. Here's the current volume of X Factor. Now the mutants today, if you're reading current comics, are on Krakoa, the mutant island. But right here on the first page of X Factor number 1, there's the happy couple there, living on Krakoa. So, yep, still going strong there. Next up here, I've got several books in the Captain America titles. The first one is from Volume 1. This is just fun. This is Captain America number 407. This is part of the Cap Wolf story. Cap Wolf versus Cable. Back off, Furface. Comic books, right? These are things, the elements of comic books that you will never see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they're fun nonetheless. And so I wanted to put this part of the story together. And I don't have every part yet. I still might be missing 1 or 2 issues, but it was a fun little, not era, but little time in Captain America history, so I want to pick that up. The rest of these are actually from Captain America Volume 3. So Volume 1 ended, and I think Mark Waid and Ron Garney were working on it when it ended, and then it switched over to the Heroes Reborn titles, where they outsourced the editorial and the artistic duties of Captain America, Fantastic Four, Avengers, and Iron Man to some of the Image artists like Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, things like that. And they ran that for like 13 issues each. And then it was the Heroes Return, and it came back under the House of Ideas, Marvel's editorial staff again, taking over for Volume 3. And Waid and Garney started off the beginning of this run. And I don't know, the covers on this were what grabbed me. They look kind of cool. And like I said, I like Waid and Garney, so I figured I'd give this a try. And you can't really go wrong at 25 cents a piece. So I have number 1. Here's number 2. We jump to number 4. And one of the Kubert brothers jumps in here. I want to say it's, I don't remember if it's Andy or Adam. It's on one of these covers. I'll show you when I get to it here. But I really like his covers. Here's number 8. Number 12. And again, I wouldn't have jumped around like this, but they were only a quarter a piece, so I was able to get several at once. It's Andy Kubert. I like that cover a lot. And then here's number 18. This just seems like a fun run that I can casually put together over time here. What is this, number 21? And again, I like the covers. I'm curious as to the story. Something clearly is going on with Cap's shield here. So you can see it's not completely solid. It's like it's an energy shield. And you can see it back here on issue 13 as well. So I don't know how he got that shield or what the story is behind that, but I'll get to read about it. And then, oh, but here's issue 22, and his shield is looking solid again, so don't know what happens there. And that's it for Captain America. So that's volume 3, and like I said, I'll piece those together as I can find them for cheap over time. I do also have the Marvel Unlimited app, and so I can read some of those pieces as well to fill in the gaps in the meantime and see how far in that volume I really want to go with it and how invested I want to be. The next 2 books I picked up because A, I like the covers, B, one of the books I have seen multiple times but never picked up, and these are books I picked up, and maybe because it was September 12th that I was there for the sale, so it was the day after 9/11. Those kinds of thoughts and remembering were fresh in my mind. You know, I was still in New Jersey at the time, so that was that really hit home, and that's one of those generation-defining events for so many of us, and especially there on the East Coast, the New York, New Jersey area, that when I see, you know, some of these covers, it's just an additional little connection there. The first cover is not a connection to 9/11. This is actually a Captain America tribute cover, but still honors first responders. This is Mighty Thor. This is, I can't see who did that. I'd have to look and see. That may be, I think that's Malieve. It might be Malieve who did this variant, but it's I Am Captain America, first responder there rescuing the kiddo from the fire. That was very cool. And then here's the one that was definitely remembering 9/11, A Moment of Silence, and maybe you've seen this book before. So a bunch of different artists and collaborators worked on this, but thought that was a great commemorative issue to pick up. Next one here is just a fun pickup. You know, when we watch social media, you know, whether it be YouTube or Instagram, and you see things that people are posting, you can't help but be a little bit influenced by that, and maybe the things that people are seeing and posting about, then you see them and you figure like, what the heck, why don't I pick that up too? This harkens back to the early days of Image with Pitt. This is a character, I've never read this title, but here's his first issue at Image Comics, in great shape, really cool looking cover, and makes me nostalgic for the 90s as well, so I figured, what the heck, why not grab it? And then these next 2 I picked up because I love just about anything X-Men related, and you know, X-Men has so many different ongoing series, limited series, character-based series that you can't possibly keep track of them all in your head, and even the ones you know, you can still stumble across things you've never seen before. And I think Mystique has had a couple different, at least limited runs based on her character, but this is from one of the, I don't know if it was considered limited or ongoing, but this is Mystique, and this is issue number 1. So I figured I'd grab that because I thought that cover looked cool. And they had issue number 3 as well. Again, this is one where I got them because the character's cool. I like the X-Men. They were only 25 cents, and we'll see how far, if any further, I go with collecting these. But they're just fun. You know, some of getting books for 25 cents, you get them just because they're fun to get. Now for the last book. This is the key that I was saving for last. This is a character, again, whose first appearance I've only ever had through Free Comic Book Day prints of that first appearance. And I thought, you know, it'd be really fun to find the actual first appearance someday. But, you know, it doesn't go for like hundreds of dollars or anything like that. I don't even think it goes for like $50, but I've never seen it. And then as I was flipping through these long boxes, if you saw my last video, you saw that 12-issue series that I could not believe I came across, and got the whole thing, you know, for basically $3 because it was 25 cents a comic. But this was similar. This may have been in, you know, one box over either way, but nobody grabbed this, and I certainly did then. This is Lady Mechanica #0. So I'm not terribly familiar with her, other than to know that she's part human, but her limbs have been replaced with machine parts. So there's obviously some backstory there as to how she became in the condition that she is. But now she works, I don't know if she's a bounty hunter or like she may be like a bounty hunter or an investigator of some sort, but it's a steampunk genre, which is pretty cool looking too. Art seems fantastic, but I thought it was great to find her actual first appearance for just 25 cents. Before I go, I've got one more thing to share with you. I want to say a special thank you to subscriber and fellow YouTuber Vintage Vinny. He was kind enough to send me some comic books in the mail. Call it friend mail, call it an A-OK, whatever you call it. I'm so happy to receive it. I mean, don't we all love getting free things in the mail? So thank you, Vinny, for this cool, generous gift. And if you like thrifting, or I'll say tell all your thrifting friends, check out Vintage Vinny's channel. He does thrifting hauls, he does live sales, so definitely worth your time to check him out. I've got a link to his video down in the description here. So let me show you the books that he sent me. He sent 3 comic books. The first one here is from Fantastic Four Volume 1. This is part of the John Byrne era of Fantastic Four that I'm collecting. Number 281 there. And cool cover, that's Sue Storm, but this is a different persona for her. I don't know the whole story behind it, but this character, she went by the name of Malice, and all I gotta say is check out the 80s mullet that she is sporting there. So, yep, super cool. Fantastic Four book there. Next one here, I'm always a sucker for a #1, and this is a book I do not have. This is called US 1, as in highway. It's I think it may have been like a licensed toy property that Marvel did a series of books for. I don't know how long this volume ran for, but again, this is #1. Looks like it's from 1983, and yeah, high adventure trucking down the highway. So check that out. Yeah, it looks like some dude's got a big red cape up here. I don't know if that's supposed to be him. This kind of looks more like a bad guy. I don't know, but we'll have to check out that story. I've seen these books before, but never picked one up. But now I will have the opportunity to read that. And then third and last, and certainly not least, we've got Captain America. Again, Volume 1. This is number 258. I don't have this one either. I do always enjoy the covers from this era of Marvel, where they were putting this Marvel Comics group across the top. I think that was, what, like late 70s, early 80s, kind of that era. And this is from 1981. And it's just, yeah, a really cool Mike Zeck cover and Mike Zeck interior art as well. So again, thank you, Vinny, for this cool gift. And for everybody else, go ahead, click on the link and check out his channel. All right, that's going to do it for me, and that's finally going to wrap up this, I think, 5 parts of Sidewalk Sale back issue comics that I've been able to share with you. I truly hope you've seen something through these 5 videos that you've liked. If so, please, again, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead, do the YouTube thing, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, and it just helps the channel grow. If you want to see the rest of the books in this haul, remember there are links to those videos down below, and there should be pop-ups up here for you to click on so you could go watch some of the other books I got at this Sidewalk Sale. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.